Losing Nisa was it was the greatest hurt of my life and the greatest loss. Over the years, I got in the habit of before I go to sleep, I always said, "Good night, I love you." And I've never stopped that. I can't. It just seems to be something I have to do. The only way I can describe Nisa is Proverbs 31. And that describes her to a T. She was such a wonderful gift to me. The thing I remember about the wedding was I was waiting for her to come in because we walked up the aisle together. And her brother was standing there with me. And when the car came in with her in it, he said, "It's not too late to change your mind." And when I seen her, I says, no, this is what I want, Mark was born on March 4th. And of course, you always remember, especially the first one, because that was the most difficult pregnancy I ever had. I remember one time, he liked to tramp through the snow. Well, he got into some bushes. Well, he sunk down and he couldn't get out. So he had a little dog, and he said, "Go get Mom." And the little dog came and barked, and Nisa went and got him. So when I come home, he was telling me about it. And I said, "Well, what did you do?" And he said, I sent Blondie to get Mom. And he says, "And I prayed," he said. And I said, "What happened?" And he says, "There was Mom." So he figured he had an immediate answer to his prayer. Sunday night was always dinner and a movie for us, even when we had kids. In 2014, this would be about February, we were in the family room, and so I was in my lounge chair, and she was curled up in her love seat. And she said, "Are we weird?" And I said, "Well, I know I'm not, but I'm not so sure about you." And she said, "You brat," she says, And so I said, what do you mean? And she said, we're just content being here by ourselves. So I said to her, I said, what do you mean? She says, you're just happy just being here by yourself. I said, yeah. I said, when I look over there and see you there, I don't need anybody else here. We went back to watching the movie, and little did I know before that year was over, that chair would be empty. And that pretty well ruined me for going down to the family room to watch a movie. I would watch it in my bedroom if I wanted to watch a movie or whatever.
She was a lucky woman.
No, I was a fortunate one.